The blue wave that crashed over parts of the country on Election Day was impressive, handing Democrats their best midterm performance since the Watergate era and the largest popular vote margin between the two parties in the history of midterms. Few states were more representative of that blue wave than New Jersey, where Democrats flipped 4 congressional districts, leaving Republicans with just 1 representative in Washington, their smallest congressional delegation in over a century. In the Senate, Senator Bob Menendez easily won a 3rd term, despite concerns in some Democratic circles that last year's ethics probe and corruption trial could cost him his seat. So why has New Jersey become so blue? Was this election simply a referendum on President Trump, or are there other deeper problems for the state's GOP? Here now to break it all down for us is MetroFocus contributor and anchor of State of Affairs, Steve Adubato. Steve, welcome back to the program.
Always good to be with you, Raf.
So, Steve, you know, the blue wave didn't hit all parts of the country, and certainly didn't hit 4 senatorial races in red or purplish states.
Right.
But it certainly crashed here, as I said in the introduction.
Big.
Why?
You know, Raf, anyone who says, here's the one reason, it's Donald Trump. Well, it is Donald Trump. It was Donald Trump's policies. It was Donald Trump's policies, tax policies that hurt many in New Jersey in terms of the limitation on the deductions, if you will, on state and local taxes. It's Donald Trump's personality. It's his nastiness as perceived by many. It's the fact that there are many Republicans who voted for Donald Trump 2 years ago who said, no, we need to send him a message. But it's also, you've got issues around the Gateway Tunnel, transportation issues, infrastructure issues. Is the federal government going to be helpful? It's health care. It's Obamacare. A lot of people in New Jersey want that coverage, and they're hearing talk from the Republicans saying, listen, we're going to dismantle it one way or the other from the president as well. It's that and the fact that the demographics of New Jersey are changing. Yeah. Browner, more women, more minorities, and the fact is it's leaning more left than ever before. And the Dems put up some pretty good candidates to win.
Okay, so let's break it all down. Let's start with...
Sorry for naming so many reasons.
No, and let's break it down, as many of them as we can. You know, the tax reform, that capped state and local tax deductions, right? Yeah. It capped it up to $10,000. I mean, it hit New Jersey, hit New York, hit California, hit Connecticut. It hit these states big. And this was the response. You know, the national media doesn't talk too much about that.
They don't get it.
But it was really big here, right? It really was big in New Jersey.
So let me give you a couple numbers. There are over 1 million of the 8 million plus people who live in New Jersey, over 1 million, Raf, who were hurt by, okay, how you live, there's a tax cut. Yeah, there's a tax cut. But this deduction, think about this, $10,000 cap. So the average property tax bill in New Jersey is way above $10,000. Now you're talking your property taxes plus what you pay in the state income tax, around 9%, if you will. If you're a millionaire, 5 million up, you pay even more. Whoa. But here's the deal. Over 1 million New Jerseyans got on the short end of that, and they're saying, how do I express my point of view? They did it in the midterm elections by saying, no, we need that property tax cut. We need that state tax deduction. And 10,000 is not going to get it done.
Yeah, and what you're saying here, and New Jersey didn't hit just the rich people. It actually hit mostly the middle-class people that Trump is supposed to be appealing to, right? You know, but how come they didn't figure this out ahead of time? Did they see it coming?
Right. You know, it's like, look, I don't want to pile on the president because it's, frankly, in some cases easy to do. But I'm going to say this. Think about the GM situation. Think about places where the president said, we're going to protect your jobs. We're going to make sure more jobs. Well, he told folks in New Jersey and other places that they're going to get a tax break. The reality is what he promised to deliver, A, he couldn't because the GM will do what they want. But in New Jersey, frankly, in my opinion, Raf, I feel like he targeted New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and California because they were blue states. We're not going to vote for him last time or didn't vote last time. And he's saying they're not going to vote for me again.
Well, what about the representatives of those states? What about the 4 congressional members, Republican members who lost their seat? Weren't they screaming this at the administration saying, you're going to kill us?
Yes.
And actually 3 of those 4 voted against the
3 of the 4
reform.
voted against. The one who voted for it, Tom MacArthur, was out there with the president, you know, touting the tax bill, right? Even though he knew that there was a deduction of $10,000, was capped at that, and New Jerseyans in his district as well would get hurt. He lost. Some of the other Republicans who voted, you know, against the $10,000 cap, they just chose not to run. Yeah, but the reality is, no matter how many Republicans in the House in New Jersey or another state said to the president, this is going to hurt us, he was saying, listen, A, I think it's the right thing to do, but B, I'm never going to win your state anyway, so I'm not worried about you.
Huh. So how about you talked about the changing demographics of New Jersey. You know, in 2014, there was kind of a red wave You know, where some Republicans were elected in districts that had previously been Democratic. So has it changed that much in 4 years?
So the other thing that you and I have been talking about offline that is important to talk about now is women.
Yeah.
I mean, women played a huge role in this. Think about this. In 2016, in House races, you know the numbers, 49% of all women voted for Democrats.
53% of women, I think in 2006, 53% of white women voted for Donald Trump. This time they voted Democrats by 49%.
Yes.
Republicans by 49. I mean, they lost 4 points, to make a long story short.
Let me give you the other number. The Democrats picked up almost 12 points. All women across the board 2 years ago voted Democrat 49%. So
that was a big difference.
Now it's 60%. My point is more and more women, white, Hispanic, African-American, they chose, particularly white women in wealthier communities, they voted against the Republicans for the, and frankly, more moderate. I'm going to be clear. In New York, and you know New York better than I do, you can elect a Democratic socialist in certain districts. That would not happen in New Jersey, in my view. These are more moderate, leaning a little bit to the right, Democrats who beat Republicans, but they're willing to stand up to the president.
You know, in New Jersey, which is it's different than other states, which has a state and local races on the odd year. So next year, state legislators are running. Are Republicans fearing that this blue wave will continue next year?
Let me give you the best example of that, Ralph. The leader of the Assembly Republicans, a guy that you and I have interviewed many, many times, John Bramnick, a moderate Republican who at first wanted to give the president a chance. He's a Republican. I had him on recently on State of Affairs, and he said, look, his tone is off, his demeanor, his policies hurt New Jersey. He's running away from the president. He's encouraging other moderate Republicans and other Republicans to move away from the president because he says, look, if we don't, we're going to get slaughtered in the state legislature. Look, the Democrats control both houses already, but it's going to be worse. So the point is, I believe there's going to be a move away from the Trump branch, if you will, a faction of the Republican Party in New Jersey, not in other states that I don't know.
Is it going to work in about 30 seconds that we have left?
No, in my opinion, I think that the blue wave will continue in New Jersey for all the reasons we said and more. And I believe there's going to be a strong desire to continue to vote against the president's policies and his approach to leadership unless something dramatic changes. And one more thing real quick. We do not have a commitment from the federal government as we speak for the Gateway Tunnel, which is critical to New York and New Jersey. And the president undid something that President Obama committed to, which is half the money will come from the feds. Bottom line, if that doesn't happen, the Democrats will run on that again.
The blue wave will continue. Okay, but we'll see what happens, Steve. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you, Ralph.